Hello, dear children. Welcome to the class. Now, in today's class, we are going to start our next book, that is Analysis of Financial Statements. In this book, the first chapter is Financial Statements of a Company. Now, what is the meaning of financial statements? Financial statements are summarized statements of accounting data prepared at the end of an accounting process, that is after preparing trial balance. See, we all have learned how to prepare the financial statements of sole proprietorship, partnership. We have already learned how to prepare the financial statements of NPO. So we all know that these financial statements, they are summarized system statements of accounting data, and they are prepared at the end of the financial year. Fine, and we prepare it at the end of the accounting process also, that is after preparing trial balance. Now, if we talk about that, what are financial statements? So, financial statements are two in number. First is your balance sheet, second, statement of profit and loss, and third, notes to accounts. Now, in company form of an organization, your profit and loss account is known as statement of profit and loss. And in balance sheet, we have to prepare along with the balance sheet notes to accounts. Now we learn what all this is all about. Now the content of the annual report. See, every year the companies, they, as per Companies Act 2013, have to prepare an annual report. The annual report of a company, as per law, should disclose the prescribed information to enable the user to make informed judgment and decisions. See, for every year, the companies are supposed to prepare the annual report, and in the annual report, you have to submit the prescribed information, and that information is actually very relevant for the investors, for the management, for the potential investors, for the creditors, and public at large. So the first content of the annual report is report by the board of directors, and this report contains report in terms of section 217 of the Companies Act 1956, directors responsibility statement, report on corporate governance, and management discussion and analysis. The second part of the report is auditor's report. Third is your balance sheet, and this balance sheet is now according to schedule 3 of the Companies Act 1956. The content of the balance sheet which we are going to learn is actually according to schedule 3 of the Companies Act 1956. Then next we are going to learn how to prepare the statement of profit and loss, that what is the content of the statement of profit and loss. Next, we are going to learn about the how to prepare the notes to accounts, and notes to accounts are related to accounting policies adopted by the company, explanatory notes explaining significant transactions and events, additional information required to be disclosed, and notes to accounts giving details of the line items of balance sheet and statement of profit and loss. Fine. So basically notes to accounts में ना बेटा हम सारे जितने भी बैलेंस शीट की आइटम्स होती हैं या स्टेटमेंट ऑफ प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस की आइटम होती हैं उनकी डिटेल्स हम नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स में मेंशन करते हैं. इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ द कंपनीज फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स. Then your next statement is your cash flow statement as per the accounting standard 3 revised, and we are going to learn that how to prepare a cash flow statement also in our class 12th. Then finally, your segment report. Segment reporting as per accounting standard 17 where applicable. And in segment reporting, we are going to prepare two types of statements. First is your comparative statements and second is your common size statements, and we learn them how to prepare in the third chapter of this third book. Now let's start with the format of statement of profit and loss. Now I have already explained it to you that your profit and loss account, which we have learned to prepare in sole proprietorship concern, partnership concern. Yes, that profit and loss account in company form of an organization is known as statement of profit and loss. Now, this is the format of statement of profit and loss, and it is vertically prepared. Fine, it's not horizontally prepared, it's vertically prepared. It has got four columns. First column is particulars. Second column, notes to accounts. Third column, figures for current reporting period, that means our current financial year. And then last column, figure for the previous reporting period. See, in actually when we prepare the statement of profit and loss, if you see any of the annual report of any company, you will find that the figures of the current year and the previous year are compared together. Now the first item of the statement of profit and loss is your revenue from operation. Fine. First item is revenue from operation, and what we do is we just put here note to account number 1. Fine. Now what is to be recorded in note to account number 1? Note to account number 1 is to be prepared just below the statement of profit and loss account. Your statement of profit and loss here, and you will write here note number 1. You will give the heading notes to accounts and you will write here note number 1. Fine. And then the first note number 1 is for revenue from operation. Now what is revenue from operation? Revenue from operation is, it means revenue earned by a company from its operating activities. Operating activities means your main core business activity. जो आपका business है ना, आपकी जो main core business activity है, like manufacturing है या trading है, जिसमें भी आप deal कर रहे हो, उससे जो आपको इनकम हो रही है. अगर हम वैसे बात करें, अगर हमने जो आइटम पड़ी हुई हैं पार्टनरशिप में या सोल प्रोप्राइटरशिप में, तो उसको हम कहेंगे net sales. Business activities are those activities which are carried out by the company to earn profits. So the example of revenue from operation is sales, and these sales are net sales. These sales are net sales, and net sales means your sales minus your sales return. Sales minus your sales return, that is net sales, will be your revenue from operation. Then to this we add sale of scrap. अगर बेटा हमारा कोई scrap बच जाता है जिस भी business activity में हम deal कर रहे हैं, especially manufacturing में, है ना, तो उसमें जब हम manufacturing activity करते हैं तो हमारा कोई scrap बच जाता है, और उस scrap को जब हम sell करते हैं, we get some money. So that the money received by the selling the scrap is your going to be a part of revenue from operation. Then interest earned बाय फाइनेंस कंपनी. अब देखिए बेटा, फाइनेंस कंपनी का मेन काम क्या होता है? फाइनेंस कंपनी की मेन कोर बिजनेस एक्टिविटी क्या होती है कि फाइनेंस कंपनी ने लेंड करना है. लेंड करना है तो उसके ऊपर इंटरेस्ट वो रिसीव करेगी। तो जो उसकी इंटरेस्ट इनकम होती है फाइनेंस कंपनी की, इंटरेस्ट अर्नड, दैट इज द मेन income earned from the main core business activity. Therefore, it will be a revenue from operations. Similarly, dividend received by a finance company again is going to be a revenue from operation. So basically, if we talk about a manufacturing company, ध्यान से सुनिएगा बेटा, if we talk about a manufacturing company, so the first two items, fine, net sales, that is your sales minus sales return plus your sale of scrap is going to be your revenue from operation in manufacturing company, where you are undergoing manufacturing company where production is being taking place. Manufacturing company where production is taking place. Fine. And the other two items, that is interest earned and dividend received, these two items, they are added together to calculate revenue from operation in finance companies. Let's move towards the next item. Now what you do is you take the sum total of this two, and this is your note to account number 1, and you will place this in front of the note to account number 1. Let's take an example. Let's suppose sales or net sales are rupees 10,000. Fine, these are rupees 10,000, and your sale of scrap, we are talking about a manufacturing company, so net sales, that is sales minus sales return, is 10,000, and sale of scrap is 11,000. So we are going to, and this we have shown in the notes to account number 1, and now total revenue from operation will be your total revenue from operation, the total will be 11,000, and this 11,000 will be shown, it will be shown in front of the note to account number 1, which we have prepared. This is note to account number 1, and this 11,000 we have taken from the note to account, and we'll write it over here in the current year figure. Current year report, the figures for the current year. Next item is your other income. Now other income, again we are going to have note to account number 2. Now these other incomes are non-operating incomes. In revenue from operation, we have recorded the income from the operating activities, your operating incomes, fine, operating activities, or you can say it is operating income. This is the income from your main core business activity. So operating income, and in other incomes we are going to record all the income from non-operating activity. We are going to record the income from non-operating activity, and this is our note to account number 2. Now let's see the details of your non-operating activities. Now, other income, that is your income from non-operating activities, are as follows. See, other incomes are the incomes that are earned by the company from activities that are not its operating activity or business activity, that is their non-operating activity. वो on a regular basis नहीं होती हैं, and the examples are bad debt recovered, cash discount received, excess provision written back, income tax refund, interest earned by non-financial companies, dividend earned by non-financial companies, and gain on sale of fixed assets. Beta, if you note down, These are all the items which you record on the credit side of profit and loss account. Bad debt recovered हम profit and loss account की credit side पे लिखते हैं. कैश डिस्काउंट रिसीव्ड हम प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस की क्रेडिट साइड पे लिखते हैं. अगर हमने कोई प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट या कोई और प्रोविजन एक्सेस बना रखा है और वो यूज नहीं हुआ, तो हम क्या करते हैं, हम राइट बैक कर देते हैं, उसको दोबारा से प्रॉफिट के अंदर ऐड कर देते हैं. अगेन इट इज रिटन, द एक्सेस प्रोविजन रिटर्न बैक इज रिकॉर्डेड ऑन द क्रेडिट साइड ऑफ प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. सिमिलरली इनकम टैक्स रिफंड, जो आपके पास रिफंड आया हो, और इंटरेस्ट अर्नड और डिविडेंड अर्नड बाय मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी, दैट इज बाय नॉन फाइनेंस, क्योंकि फाइनेंस कंपनी के लिए इंटरेस्ट अर्नड और डिविडेंड अर्नड हमारी ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटी का पार्ट होती है. तभी हमने लास्ट स्लाइड में देखा था कि इंटरेस्ट अर्नड और डिविडेंड अर्नड फाइनेंसिंग कंपनी के लिए रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम ऑपरेशन है, लेकिन इंटरेस्ट अर्नड और डिविडेंड अर्नड by non-financial company will be an income from your non-operating activities, है ना. Let's say for example मैंने कहीं पे मेरे पास बिजनेस में स्पेयर पैसा पड़ा हुआ था, मैंने कहीं पे इन्वेस्ट कर दिया, किसी कंपनी के शेयर्स खरीद लिए, कंपनी ने डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर किया, सो दैट डिविडेंड इनकम विल बी माय बिजनेस इनकम. लेकिन क्योंकि मेरा बिजनेस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का है, सो दिस डिविडेंड इनकम नो डाउट विल बी माय business income, but will be recorded here as a income by non-finance company as non-operating income. And the last item to be recorded in other income is gain on sale of fixed assets. Now all these items are total up. फाइन. हम क्या करेंगे, सारी आइटम्स के जितने भी फिगर होंगे, these are going to be totaled up, and the total of these non-operating income will be taken in the balance sheet in front of note to account number 2. I hope that the other incomes are clear to all of you. So the next item is your total revenue. And how to get this total revenue? We are going to add the total of revenue from operations and other income, and this is going to be your total revenue, है ना. ये हमारा total revenue हो गया. पहला वाला आइटम सेल्स, हमारी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक्टिविटी से जो इनकम हो रही है. दूसरा वाला आइटम अदर इनकम इज अवर income from non-operating activities. So our total income, that is total revenue, will be a sum total of 1 plus 2. Then next come in statement of profit and loss your list of all the expenses. Now here your expenses include first cost of material consumed. Cost of material consumed, again I'll repeat myself, this item will appear in the manufacturing companies. Fine. This item will appear in the manufacturing companies. And then purchase of stock in trade, this item will appear in the trading company. Now what is the difference between a manufacturing company and a trading company? See, manufacturing company क्या करती है बेटा, raw material purchase करती है, then process it and convert that raw material into finished product. But trading company, they do not change the form of the material. They purchase the material from the market, add a profit margin, and then they purchase it for the purpose of reselling it. They keep a little bit of profit margin, their profit margin, and then they resell it. So cost of material consumed is going to be there in manufacturing company, and purchase of stock in trade trading company में होता है. And the third item is change in inventory of finished goods, work in progress, that is semi finished goods, and then stock in trade. Fine. So let's learn that how to record the notes to accounts in these three items. So let's start with your cost of material consumed, which is going to be appeared in a manufacturing company. And let's write that this is note to account number 3. Now cost of material consumed, This is your note to account number 3. It is associated with manufacturing. I told you that it is there, it is going to appear in a manufacturing company. It means cost incurred in manufacturing of goods. And we have learned the formula for calculating the cost of material consumed is, it is opening stock of raw material plus purchase of raw material minus closing stock of raw material. We have learned this formula in class 11th also. This is the cost of raw material consumed, opening stock of raw material plus purchases less closing stock. Now after doing all the working over here, the final figure which we are going to get is going to be taken place in the amount column of the current year in the statement of profit and loss. Let's take an example. Suppose opening stock of material is of rupees 5,000. Now 3,000 is the purchases of raw material during the year. So the total material available for manufacturing is 8,000, and out of 8,000, if we find that stock of raw material left at the end of the year is of rupees 1,000, so we are going to subtract this 1,000 and the final figure which we are going to get is 7,000. So the stock of raw material consumed during the year is rupees 7,000, and this amount will be taken in the amount column of the current financial year in the statement of profit and loss in front of your note to account number 3. The next item is purchase of stock in trade. Now stock in trade means goods purchased for resale without carrying out any further process. As I told you that this stock in trade is the amount amount of goods which a trading concern is purchasing. And trading concern क्या करती है? ट्रेडिंग कंपनी आपका जो गुड्स परचेज करती है उसका पर्पस होता है कि अपना एक प्रॉफिट मार्जिन रखेगी और प्रॉफिट मार्जिन रखने के बाद उसको सेल कर देगी. फाइन. सो इट इज फर्दर प्रोसेस. इफ एनी फर्दर प्रोसेस इज कैरिड आउट, इट डज नॉट रिमेन स्टॉक इन ट्रेड. यानी कि अगर बेटा हम उसमें जो भी हमने परचेज किया है अगर उसको हम प्रोसेस करते हैं तो फिर वो स्टॉक इन ट्रेड टर्म नहीं रहती, वो आपकी कॉस्ट ऑफ मटेरियल कंज्यूम्ड बन जाती है. फाइन. तो स्टॉक इन ट्रेड आइटम रहती ही सिर्फ ट्रेडिंग कंसर्न में है, जो ट्रेडिंग कंसर्न्स गुड्स को खरीदती हैं फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ रीसेलिंग देम. फाइन. So such purchases takes the character of material. In such cases, purchases will be shown under cost of material consumed. So let's take an example to make this point clear. It says paper purchased for resale will be shown as purchases of stock in trade. हमने पेपर परचेज किया, हमने पेपर का कोई फॉर्म चेंज नहीं करना, उसको एज इट इज परचेज किया और आगे सेल कर देना है, तो ये मेरा स्टॉक इन ट्रेड बन जाएगा. बट if purchase of paper is there to manufacture copies, हमने उस पेपर को नोटबुक्स में, रजिस्टर्स में, कॉपीज में कन्वर्ट करना है, will be shown as purchase of material under your cost of material consumed. Fine. I hope that the difference between your stock in trade and cost of material consumed is clear to all of you. And this item we are going to purchase of stock in trade, we are going to show as it is in the statement of profit and loss. So no need to prepare separate note to account for purchase of stock in trade. The next item was your change in inventory of finished goods, work in progress, and your stock in trade. Change in inventory means opening inventory less closing inventory. So here, let's say if we are going to have that this is note to account number 4. Fine. In front of the change in inventory item in the statement of profit and loss, in note to account number, we'll mention note to account number 4, and note to account number 4 is here shown as opening inventory less closing inventory. Now we'll show all the working of opening inventory less closing inventory of finished goods, work in progress, and stock in trade. Sum them up, take the sum of all these items of finished goods, work in progress, and stock in trade, and then take the final total in the statement of profit and loss in front of the note to account number 4. So this is our statement of profit and loss, and this was note to account number 4. And whatever the changes in inventory of finished goods, work in progress, and stock in trade we'll calculate over there is going to be recorded here in the amount column. The next item of expense is your employee benefit expense. Now, employee benefit expense, it is related to all the items or all the salary or wages or any other perk which is given to the employee. So employee benefit expense, let us say that this is our note to account number 5. Fine. Now employee benefit expense includes payment made to or for the benefit of employees, and the examples are wages and salaries. We know wages are given to the workers and salaries are given to the managers or who are on higher positions, employees who are working at a higher position. Then bonus, then leave encashments given to the employees, then staff welfare expense. Again, ये खर्चा सारा एम्प्लॉयज के ऊपर हो रहा है, तो ये सारा एम्प्लॉय बेनिफिट एक्सपेंस में इंक्लूड होगा. LTAs, लीव ट्रेवल अलाउंस, एंड देन एम्प्लॉयर कंट्रीब्यूशन to PF, that is Provident Fund, ESI. This is also your amount given to the employees. Fine. So the sum total of all these wages and salaries, bonus, leave encashment, staff welfare expenses, LTA, and employees contribution for PF and ESI, all are going to be total up and taken to the statement of profit and loss. Fine. So this is our employee benefit. This was our employee benefit expense. The fourth item, note to account number 5. The next item, fifth item of expense is your finance cost. This here we are going to write note to account number 6. Now let's understand what do we mean by finance cost. So this is our note to account number 6, and finance cost is nothing beta. It is cost incurred on borrowings, that is our loan. और वो cost क्या होती है? That cost is in the form of interest. अगर बेटा हमारे जो हमने लोन लिया है ना, तो लोन के ऊपर जो मुझे इंटरेस्ट पे करना है, that is your cost incurred on borrowings, that is loan. अगर कंपनी ने कोई लोन लिया है या कंपनी ने कोई ओवरड्राफ्ट या कैश क्रेडिट की फैसिलिटी ली है, कोई टर्म लोन लिया है, कंपनी ने डिबेंचर्स और बॉन्ड्स इशू किए हैं ऑन विच इंटरेस्ट इज टू बी पेड ऑफ, और कंपनी हैज रेज फंड्स थ्रू पब्लिक डिपॉजिट्स. हम क्लास 11th में पढ़कर आए हैं these all are external sources of finance, and we have to pay interest or premium or discount on issue or redemption of these financial instruments. So the financial cost involved, please make a note of it. सबसे पहले interest, सबसे पहले जो finance cost होती है, that is interest on loans or borrowings. Your next is premium payable on redemption of preference shares or debentures. फाइन. प्रीमियम होता है समथिंग एक्स्ट्रा अमाउंट. डिबेंचर रिडीम करने का मतलब या प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स रिडीम करने का मतलब उनका पैसा वापस करना. रिडीम करने का मतलब होता है प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स का या डिबेंचर्स का जब हम पैसा वापस करते हैं तो जो एक्स्ट्रा अमाउंट हम पे कर रहे हैं ओवर एंड अबव देयर फेस वैल्यू, दैट इज द प्रीमियम. And we are going to learn about premium in detail when we'll start योर कंपनी अकाउंट्स। मीनवाइल जस्ट अभी आप ये याद रख लीजिए कि प्रीमियम क्या होती है, एक्स्ट्रा अमाउंट होती है। सपोज डिबेंचर्स 100 रुपीज का है, ठीक है, सपोज डिबेंचर्स की फेस वैल्यू 100 रुपीज है, और जब हम डिबेंचर को रिडीम कर रहे हैं, रिडीम करने का मतलब डिबेंचर होल्डर्स को ये 100 रुपीज वापस कर रहे हैं, वी आर पेइंग देम 110 rupees. So this 10 rupees extra which we are paying them back is the premium. Fine. So premium payable on redemption of preference shares or debentures written off, this premium will be also a part of finance cost. Then discount or loss on issue of debentures written off, and then प्रोसेसिंग फी फॉर लोन। जब आप लोन अप्लाई करने के लिए जाते हो ना, तो बैंक आपको प्रोसेसिंग फी लगाता है। प्रोसेसिंग फी का मतलब कि लोन को सैंक्शन कराने की, प्रोसेस कराने की जो फीस लग रही है, सो ऑब्वियसली that is a part of your finance cost, so that is to be included over here. Now the sum total of all these will be taken in your statement of profit and loss in front of this note to account column. Now let's move to the next expense, and the next expense is depreciation and amortization expenses. And here in front of it we are going to mention note to account number 7, and the last subtopic of the expenses are other expenses, and this is note to account number 8. Now let us understand, let us learn that what all are to be included in the note to account number 7. Now in note to account number 7, we are going to talk about the depreciation and amortization expenses. Now depreciation is writing off cost of fixed asset to expense over its useful life, and amortization means writing off cost of your intangible assets over their useful life. बेटा ये हम क्लास 11th में भी कर कर आए हैं when we did that chapter depreciation. Depreciation is a reduction in the value of fixed asset. जितने भी fixed assets होते हैं उनकी value में reduction को हम depreciation कहते हैं. Why? Because we are, क्यों value reduce होती है? Because we are using these fixed assets in our production. So the cost of using the fixed asset in the production is going to be depreciation, and depreciation is a revenue expenditure. But amortization is a term used for writing off cost of intangible assets, that is your goodwill, patent, trademark, copyright, computer softwares. So when these intangible assets are written off, the term used is amortization. So the sum total of depreciation and amortization are going to be taken in front of note to account number 7. Then our next item is your note to account number 8, which includes your other expenses. अब बेटे जो बाकी expenses business के रह गए, that is going to be shown under the head note to account number 8, other expenses. So expenses that are not shown in the first 6 heads of the expenses are known as other expenses. बहुत सारे business के expenses होते हैं जो रह गए. They are traveling expense, administrative expenses, repairs, rent, carriage inward, carriage outward, bank charges, printing and stationery, etc. So all these are going to be recorded. They are going to be clubbed under your other expenses. We are going to write the figures in front of them and take the sum total of all these other expenses in front of the figure column in front of note to account number 8. Now the sum total of all these expenses are going to be taken. We are going to total up all the heads A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G. This we are going to record in the total expense column, and then from this total, from your total revenue, from the total revenue, if we are going to subtract the total expense, that is from 3, if we are going to subtract this fourth item, we are going to get profit before tax. And then we are going to charge tax, we are going to apply the tax, we'll deduct tax from profit before tax, and the last figure which we are going to get in our company's books of accounts statement of profit and loss is your profit after tax, which is available for your shareholders to be distributed in the form of dividends. We make appropriations, we make certain reserves out of these profit after tax. I hope that the format of profit and loss account along with the notes to account is clear to all of you. I hope you have enjoyed the learning today. That's all for today from my side. Thank you very much.